Toastmaster Dan has 4 objectives. The first is to analyze your audience regarding your chosen subject. The second is to focus your presentation at the audience's level of knowledge. The third is to build a supporting case for each major point using information gathered through research. And his final objective is to effectively use at least one visual aid to enhance the audience's understanding. Toastmaster?
Toastmaster Flores, please advise us of the timing requirement.
Then you will have 5 to 7 minutes for your speech. You will see a green light at 5 minutes, an amber light at 6 minutes, and a red light at 7 minutes with a 30-second deviation from a mic.
NCCI has a wireless infrastructure available to everyone. Today, Toastmaster Timinovich will tell us about how the wireless connects and authenticates users. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Toastmaster Timinovich as he gives his speech entitled NCCI Wireless.
Good afternoon, NCCI Toastmasters and guests. Everybody here at NCCI uses wireless in some form or another? Yes? Today we're going to talk about wireless connectivity here at NCCI. So everybody has an iPhone or an Android, or does anybody have something other than that? No? That's it. We're going to talk today about wireless inside the building. Wireless outside the building is through towers and 4G and 3G. That's outside the scope of today's discussion. Here at NCCI we use a Aruba wireless infrastructure. That is what the access point looks like. We have about 100, it's about this big, and we have about 100 up in the ceiling where you can't see them. And we have 8 at the remote offices too, for the people in the remote offices that have their connectivity. You don't see these, they're up in the ceiling, and I'm going to show you one in here, but there's little tags up there that show where they are, but there's none in this room actually. Trivia question. How many people do you think connect to wireless here at NCCI every day?
600.
See?
See.
You guys cheated. This is a graph of what it looks like. You can see 595. Here we graph, chart everything for future purposes, so we know what we need to expand in the future. And if you can see that at night it never really goes to 0 because there's always iPads and laptops and things connected, so it never really shuts down. Service Set Identifier, or SSID. What is that? When you get out your phone and you go to Starbucks and you go on the wireless and you say you want to connect, it says Starbucks. That is the SSID. It's the name of the network that is broadcast by the access points. So our access points here, they're broadcasting these 2 SSIDs. One is NCCI Open, which is internet access for everyone. We turned that on about 1.5 years ago when we put the new wireless infrastructure in. The CEO at the time says he wanted Starbucks-like access for everyone. So we turned it on. And the other SSID is NCCI Corporate, for corporate resources. So if you have a BYOD or bring your own device phone, it connects on there, and it's also for the NCCI laptops. So you have corporate resources, plus you can also access the internet. Of course, we have to have authentication for the security people here at NCCI. We like to keep security happy. On NCCI Open, you just have to accept the terms and conditions, which is when you connect, there's about 10 pages of information from legal. It's not me, it's legal, so don't blame me. And nobody ever reads it, and you get to the end, and you accept the terms and conditions, and you're on. Now, if you leave the building and come back, you have to do it again. There's ways around that, but you have to spend money and time and buy equipment. Plus, security doesn't like that. They like to make our life difficult, at least that's the way I see it. So the other way to authenticate is NCCI Corporate. Now, this is for the BYOD devices. When you get a phone and you enroll in the BYOD program here, they enroll you through the AirWatch program. The help desk does that. And they put a certificate on your phone, and that certificate is just for you and your phone. So when you walk in the building, your phone says, I want to get on NCCI Wireless. It presents a certificate to the infrastructure. It authenticates it. It says you're valid, and you get on the network. Very easy. The second way is for the NCCI laptops. Now, they authenticate the same way your desktop does. When it presents your credentials to the wireless, It says, I am this laptop, and I have this user logged in. These are my credentials. The system authenticates in the background and says, okay, you can get on. And it puts you on the network. Either way, you get on. Now notice I didn't talk about password. In the old days, when you connect, when you change your LAN ID, then you go to your wireless and it wouldn't work. You had to change your password on your phone too. So we've eliminated that. We use Active Directory and certificates, so it's a better user experience and it's actually more secure. It's easier for the users. And we have content filtering. This you have on your desktop today, and it's also on the wireless. Whether you go corporate or open, there's content filtering. This again is for the security people. They like to make our life difficult, but it blocks you from going to certain sites, and these are categories. And inside each category, there's hundreds or thousands of sites. So we just block the category, and we have subscriptions where they actually edit those. Now this, like I said, works on your desktop, your laptop, your phone, everywhere. And it's good because it's protection for us, because if I accidentally go to an inappropriate site on my phone or my desktop, it would block me. I don't know if anybody's seen that. It says, sorry, you can't go here, Bambi. Where have you gone? And it actually logs in the background, and we don't see that. It logs somewhere, and I don't think anybody ever looks at it, but it keeps track because NCCI likes to track everything. Now we're going to talk about wireless speeds. Now, this is not the speed from your phone to the infrastructure. That would be a different subject. It's a very deep subject. This is wireless speeds to the internet. So your phone connects to the internet via 1 gigabit speed. Now we have two internet service providers. One is AT&T and one is FPL FiberNet. FPL FiberNet is 1 gigabit. AT&T right now is 200 meg, but we're in the process of upgrading to 1 gig. So we'll have two 1 gig pipes to the internet. Now see the 95 picture, all the cars? The 1 gig, you're right, one person cannot use 1 gig of speed. But what this enables us to do is picture one car driving down 95, the speed limit is 65. You can only get so many cars down that lane. Now if you add a second lane, now you have two cars going at the speed limit of 65. You have double the cars and double the data. Picture 4 lanes. Now you have 4 lanes of traffic, 4 times the data. So that's what the 1 gig does. It allows you to get a lot more data through so everybody in the company can go surf at the same time to Facebook. Not during work, of course. So the open wireless is 100 megabit. It's a lot slower, but there's a lot less people on there. And we upgraded from 10 meg to 100 meg right before we opened it up to the whole building, which is a good thing because it's pretty much using up that bandwidth. If it was only 10 meg, it wouldn't have been enough, and it wouldn't have been very good for us. So how do you feel when your wireless is broken? This is how I feel, and I look just like that, but without the hair. If your device is not on the wireless or internet or something, to me it's pretty much a paperweight. It's useless, at least for me. This is our wireless infrastructure, so don't worry about all the details. I'm going to kind of go through it. You see down here the access points. Like I say, we have 100 access points in the building. If one of the access points were to fail, the other access points would power up and take over for it. It's a technology called ARM, Adaptive Radio Management. And they're also Power over Ethernet, PoE. So they pull power from the closet switch or from the building. So when you see when the power goes out, like your phone stay up, the access points stay up there because they're all powered from the building. Then you have dual redundant distribution switches, dual redundant access point controllers, dual redundant switches. And what does this mean? If any one of these devices were to fail or power off, it would still work. You would not lose connectivity. This is how we look when our wireless works. We're happy, right? So after seeing all this, anytime you connect to NCC Wireless, you know that you're connecting to a secure, redundant, high-speed network. Toastmaster?
Toastmaster Flores, would you please set the timer for 1 minute of silent evaluation?